Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Manchester United have just beaten Manchester City 2-0 at the Etihad Stadium. We have ended Man City's 21 game winning run. And we are 21 unbeaten away from home in the Premier League. Got to say, I'm very shocked by the result. I wasn't expecting this, and a lot of Manchester United fans was not expecting this. Today, it was a good performance by Manchester United. Within the first minute, we got a penalty. Obviously, it was Anthony Martial that was brought down by Gabriel Jesus. Bruno Fernandes, he took the penalty and he converted the penalty. Edison did get a touch on it though. Our second goal came from Luke Shaw. It was Marcus Rashford that had got the assist. Got to say, there was a lot of good performers today for Man United. I thought Anthony Martial played very well. His work rate was good. Like I said, he won the penalty, and I think he had two good chances in the game. There was definitely one chance he should have scored. He hit it straight at Edison. Martial has been out of form for the vast majority of this season. And obviously he has been criticised a lot. But Solskjaer not so long ago did say that, he's been impressed with Anthony Martial's work rate. And he's backed him to rediscover his form. We may not sell Anthony Martial in the summer. I thought Martial was good last season and he was good in his debut season under Louis van Gaal. Martial has been at the club now over 5 years. But if he can perform like that persistently, like he did today, then I will change my perception on Anthony Martial and I'll say, no, don't sell him in the summer. Luke Shaw today, very outstanding. Like I said, Luke Shaw got the goal. I think that's his third goal. Is it for Manchester United? Showed very good attacking intent. Defensively, Luke Shaw was very good. Luke Shaw's been the player of the season by far. Luke Shaw's had a good career at Man United apart from his injuries. He's been at the club now over 6 years. Luke Shaw still remains our first choice left back despite the arrival of Alex Telles last summer, because when we got Telles last summer I thought he was going to be our first choice left back, but I prefer Shaw to Telles because Shaw gets forward more. Dean Henderson, he was obviously in goal today. Dean Henderson made some good saves in the game. I thought his distribution was also good. Dean Henderson needs to be our number one now, because I think Dean Henderson is now reliable enough to become our number one goalkeeper. He has got that experience behind him and he has done well in the games he's played in this season. Before the start of this season, he signed a 6-year contract with Man United. Now, the other week, it actually said that Dean Henderson had threatened to quit the club if he's not assured the number one role, and we revealed our asking price and it was £40 million. But Solskjaer admitted earlier on this season in regards to Dean Henderson that it's becoming more and more difficult to leave him out of the team. Obviously, there's no David De Gea at the moment. He's out due to personal reasons. De Gea has become a father. We could be selling De Gea in the summer so Dean Henderson can become our number one. Got to say, I was very impressed with Victor Lindelof today. I thought he read he read the game really, really well, and he showed the ability to play out from the back. And Victor Lindelof also made some good blocks. It's the first time I've praised Victor Lindelof in a while, because Lindelof's endured a lot of bad games as a Man United player, and you do know that I have got strong reservations about him. And like I've said to you before, I do prefer Eric Bailly ahead of Lindelof, but my element of concern about Eric Bailly, he's too injury prone. So in that aspect, he is a liability. Harry Maguire, I thought he was very, very good today. Harry Maguire made some very, very good clearances. He was quite effective in the air. Got forward well. It's probably Harry Maguire's best performance in a Manchester United shirt. Harry Maguire has endured good games, but he's also endured bad games. He wasn't worth the £80 million that we got him for. You know, he's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment and the second most expensive sign at the club. Wan-Bissaka, I thought he was very, very good as well. So I thought all our backline were good, you know, and Wan-Bissaka. I thought dealt with Sterling well at times. Made some good tackles. Showed some attacking intent as well. Bruno Fernandes, you know, he was pretty good today. You know, like I said, scored from the penalty. Good to see Bruno Fernandes putting a good performance out, because recently he's actually been out of form. I think at some point Bruno Fernandes does need a rest, because he's played a hell of a lot of games. Bruno Fernandes has won Player of the Month now quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. Fernandes did say on his 12-month anniversary that he's planning on spending many years at Man United. But obviously Fernandes wants to help the club win trophies. I think we're willing to double his wages to £200,000 a week. He is our best player and he's the best signing we've made since Ferguson, because he has made the difference in the team. Recent narrative said that Solskjaer's ready to ban Bruno Fernandes from international duty. Marcus Rashford. I don't think he was at his best today. I thought it was quite poor in some aspects. He did actually have a good chance. I think that produced a good save from Edison. I think, by the way, Marcus Rashford went off with injury, and that's when Solskjaer and Pep Guardiola had a row on the touchline. We saw Daniel James start today, and I thought Daniel James put a pretty good performance out. But yeah, we could have had more than 2 goals. Revert back to what I said earlier on, you know, Martial had a very, very good chance. Luke Shaw, he also had a good chance at the start of the game. Produced a good save from Edison. We started the game very, very well in the first 10 to 15 minutes. You know, City couldn't get out of their half because, you know, we was pressing really, really well and causing them all sorts of problems. I thought the vast majority of the second half, you know, we did very, very well. Kept the ball well, passed the ball well. And we've just got to keep putting performances out like that. We brought some substitutions on in the game. Obviously, Mason Greenwood came on. Brandon Williams came on. And Nemanja Matic came on. City had their moments in the game where they was actually quite dominant. Zinchenko, he had a good chance, you know, produced a good save from Dean Henderson. Raheem Sterling, he had a couple of chances in the game. Rodri, he hit the crossbar. Riyad Mahrez also had a good chance that just went inches wide. So yeah, very, very good result for Man United. You know, today's game was the 185th Manchester derby. You know, Solskjaer's beaten Pep Guardiola around 5 times now as Manchester United manager. You know, we've played City 3 times now this season. You know, beating them 2-0 today. Beating them... Oh, sorry, they beat us 2-0 in the EFL Cup semi-final earlier on this season. And the game at Old Trafford was a 0-0 draw. We did beat City 3 times out of the 4 times we played them last season. You know, we're beating them 2-1 at the Etihad. We're beating them 2-0 at Old Trafford. That was a last game at Old Trafford when we had fans. And we also beaten them 1-0 in the EFL Cup semi-final, was it? Second leg, but obviously that wasn't enough because Manchester City had won the first game 3-1. From a City perspective, they'll be disappointed. You know, obviously, City are still going to win the league despite them losing today. You know, I think City are still 11 points in front of us. You know, but it's just good, you know, to beat the champions-elect. You know, when City win the Premier League this season, it will be their 5th Premier League title. They've won 4 Premier League titles at the moment. You know, 2 have come under Pep Guardiola. They won 1 under Manuel Pellegrini and they won 1 under Roberto Mancini. When they won it under Roberto Mancini, you know, that was their first title in 44 years. You know, City are the best team in England. You know, and Pep Guardiola is regarded as one of the best managers in the world. You know, he's won quite a few trophies as Manchester City manager. Not only 2 Premier Leagues. You know, he's obviously won the EFL Cup a few times. You know, City have won the EFL Cup for the last 3 seasons. They're in this season's EFL Cup final. They do play Tottenham. Also, he's won the FA Cup. He's won the Charity Shield. I think City are in the Champions League quarterfinals. The Champions League is Man City's priority because City have not won the Champions League yet. I think the furthest they've got is the semi-final. Pep Guardiola has been Man City manager now for quite a few years. You know, City appointed him in 2016. Earlier on this season, Guardiola signed a new 2-year contract. Don't forget, last year, Man City lost David Silva. He went to Real Sociedad. They also lost Otamendi. They lost Leroy Sané. And quite a few years ago, they lost Vincent Kompany. He went to become player manager at Anderlecht. And you know what? It's the first big team we've beaten in the Premier League this season. Because we've actually really struggled against the top 6 sides in the Premier League. Obviously, you know, drew 0-0 at Anfield, drew 0-0 at Arsenal, drew 0-0 with City at Old Trafford earlier on in the season, drew 0-0 with Chelsea twice. Lost 6-1 to Tottenham, lost 1-0 to Arsenal at Old Trafford. So in the vast majority of the games against the big six sides, we failed to score. So I'm just delighted that we're finally beaten a top team in the Premier League. Like I said though, Solskjaer has beaten quite a few big managers. He's beaten Guardiola quite a few times. He's beaten Julian Nagelsmann. He beaten Thomas Tuchel twice when he was PSG manager. He's beaten Jose Mourinho's Man United manager. So there you go. But it was just good to get back to winning ways today, because prior to this game, we'd drawn our last 3 games 0-0. It was a very, very poor performance away at Crystal Palace. We only had 1 shot on target in that game. Weren't the best of performances against Real Sociedad in the Europa League round of 32, second leg. And, away at Chelsea, that was a boring game of football. The VAR penalty decision, was the main talking point of that game. I can almost assure now that Man United will finish in the top 4. Top 4 is obviously not guaranteed as yet. Like I've said, top 4 is now our aim, because obviously we know we're not going to win the Premier League title. At one point though, we was in the title race. And at one point we was top of the Premier League. But, we've obviously dropped a lot of points in recent months and that. And there's obviously games where we've dropped points where we should have won, really. We should have definitely beaten Everton at Old Trafford. We squandered a 2-goal lead in that game. We was leading twice in that game, and we conceded in the 95th minute, was it, of that game. We should have beaten Sheffield at home. We lost to them 2-1. We should have won away at West Brom. We should have won away at Crystal Palace. I think we did enough to win away at Arsenal at the Emirates. So, we win them games, we are still in this title race. I don't see us winning a title under Solskjaer, to be honest with you. I've already said what Solskjaer needs to do to avoid the sack at Man United. He's got to win a trophy. I'd love us to win a trophy this season. The FA Cup is a chance of a trophy, and the Europa League is a chance of a trophy. Solskjaer's not yet won a trophy as Man United manager, and he's been Man United manager over 2 years, and we haven't won a trophy since 2017, and that's nowhere near good enough to our standards. Club of our stature need to be winning trophies. Despite the result today and the good performance, I still don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the long-term manager for Man United. I'm not obviously going to change my perception after one good result on Solskjaer. I think he'll probably be given another season at the football club. This is his 2nd full season at the moment. And I'm expecting Solskjaer to sign a new contract at Man United. He'll probably sign the new contract at the end of the season. The last time I read up, it said that Solskjaer's future was in doubt because he admitted that nobody spoke to him over a new contract. Says we could offer him no new 2-year deal. Solskjaer's into the final 18 months of his current contract. But we finish in the top 4, top 3, or finish 2nd this season and we can win a trophy. I think that'll represent a good season for Man United and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Then that will give us something to build on going on into next season. You know, Solskjaer has been Manchester United manager over 2 years now. Reflecting now on his been at the football club, he has gained some managerial experience and he has learnt quite a bit on the job. The board are backing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because Woodward recently said the progress by Solskjaer and the players this season is clear. Our net debt had risen up to 455.5 million. My two big concerns about Ole is that he hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager and his decision making does concern me. Now, yeah, in some games he's showed tactical flexibility, but he's got to show tactical flexibility persistently. We appointed Solskjaer in December 2018 to replace Jose Mourinho. Obviously, he's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. A lot of United fans did say we're giving the job too soon. Maybe we should have waited until the end of that season to decide whether or not to give him the job. But we've got to credit Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in quite a lot of aspects. We're second in the Premier League. We're in the FA Cup Quarterfinals. We're in the Europa League last 16. Will be a tough game though against AC Milan. Got us to the EFL Cup semi-final this season, lost 2-0 to City. Did well last season in his first full season at the club. Guided us to 3 semi-finals, got us qualification for the Champions League and also got us a 3rd place finish. So there has been progress made from last season, to be fair. Solskjaer has made good signings since he taken over at Man United. He's spent around £260 million at the club and Ole has enjoyed 4 transfer windows so far as permanent Man United manager. Hasn't got all the players that I wanted to recommend in as yet, but hopefully all that changes in the summer transfer window. And we've seen a lot of players depart the club since Solskjaer got recommended in. And like I said, we've got a very, very good away record in the Premier League. We haven't lost away from home in the Premier League for over a year. And we've enjoyed very good periods under Ole where we have seen consistency. There's been some games where he's got the best out of the team, like today. And he's improved certain players. We've also enjoyed very bad periods under Ole where you can turn around and say he was lucky not to be sacked. But Solskjaer's received a hell of a lot of criticism as Man United manager. But, when we are inconsistent, not all the blame stems from Ole. Maybe there's certain players that have got to take responsibility. And don't forget today, there was no Edison Cavani. He wasn't part of the squad. Paul Pogba is still out. I can't wait till Paul Pogba comes back. Because we do lack quality in that midfield without Paul Pogba. Pogba's out with a thigh injury at the moment. Solskjaer recently set a new Paul Pogba return date. Solskjaer's hopefully will be back before the March international break. So will Paul Pogba be back for the Leicester game in the Cup? Van der Beek, he's obviously injured, so he didn't play any part. I don't think he'd have played any part anyway because Van der Beek has played nowhere near as much as I expected. Obviously, Jones is still out, but Jones doesn't get in R11, and Juan Mata's obviously out, I think, for a couple of weeks. So I think we've got around, 5 or 6 injuries. But in the summer transfer window, I'm expecting us to make around 3 or 4 signings. A new centre-back and a new forward are the 2 priorities for Man United. Solskjaer recently sent a transfer warning to Man United fans saying we won't be very active in the summer transfer window due to the coronavirus pandemic. Solskjaer did say he's only interested in bringing in players that would be a perfect fit for the club. But yeah, there has been a lot of players on our agenda. You know the news on Rafael Varane from Real Madrid. You know the news on Jadon Sancho. I give you the news on Rafinha yesterday. You know the news on Erling Haaland. You know Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would love to sign him. We're going to get rid of a few players in the summer transfer window. You know, there's a good chance Mata will leave in the summer. I think De Gea could leave in the summer. I'm expecting Phil Jones to leave. I'm also expecting Romero to leave. Matic could leave in the summer because he's not one of our first choice midfielders, but still gets his chances. You know, will we sell Lindelof in the summer? Well, it was good today, and if them performances do persist, then we'll probably say, no, we'll keep Lindelof potentially past the summer. Same thing with Anthony Martial. Because I've actually been saying, and a lot of Man United fans have been saying, we should sell Anthony Martial in the summer. But if he can put performances out like he did today, then I'll change my perception on Anthony Martial, definitely. Because don't forget, Martial is only young and he's still got a lot of development in him. And like I said, you know, Paul Pogba could now be staying at the club. You know, Paul Pogba could be signing a new contract because Paul Pogba did say he's willing to discuss a new contract at Man United and he's open to staying after making a transfer U-turn. Solskjaer suggested earlier on this season that Pogba could sign a new contract. But I'm hopeful the board can back Solskjaer in the summer because I think the transfer windows Solskjaer's enjoyed so far, he hasn't been backed enough. And Woodward's come out several times to show his support for Ole. Even during them bad periods, Woodward assured that Solskjaer's job was safe, and he did say towards the end of last year he will back him with a long-term plan centred around summer transfer windows. But you've probably got to turn around and say that Ole is probably the best manager since Ferguson. You know, Ole is our fourth permanent manager since Ferguson retired. You know, we sacked Moyes, Van Gaal and Jose Mourinho since Ferguson, so we have sacked 3 managers. You know, we spent a lot of money since Ferguson left. We spent over £1 billion on players and we've brought around 37 players in since Ferguson retired. In certain periods under Ole, we have been getting glimpses of the Sir Alex Ferguson era because, like I said, we've come from behind in games this season. And, you know, the performances have been quite good. But no one's going to do what Ferguson did at the football club. We've got to accept that. And no one's going to last as long as he did. You know, Ferguson enjoyed a 27-year tenure at Man United. You know, won 30-odd trophies. He brought success to the club. But I'm sure Ferguson would have been delighted with today's result. On my next video, I will be giving you my player ratings from this game. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.